Hey, Mystic Michaela spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela. Today, we are talking about how your aura interacts in your friendships. This is a fun episode. We're going to talk about aura friendships, some celeb couple aura friendships, and what type of friend you are in aura color, and also going to be talking about some KYA listeners' auras too. But first, hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys.
So what do you bring to the table, Scott?
You mean as a friend?
Yeah, as a friend. Like, what do you feel like your aura brings to the table in a friendship?
I'm going to say something. Well, the last few years, probably very limited.
Okay.
Probably almost nothing.
What are you trying to say?
Well,
like
I don't have
busy.
I don't have many
you don't
friends.
Have any
Yeah. I mean, back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
I would say my aura brings a lot to the friendship table.
Okay. Like how? Tell us.
Like if we were going back to like high school,
right.
College,
pre-children,
when I actually had tons of friends and
right.
things to do every Friday. My calendar was booked on Friday and Saturday nights. Sometimes even Sundays.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's how popular I was. Okay. I think my aura brought a lot to the table because, first of all, I'm going to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
So I could take all like your decision-making things out of the equation for you.
Right. You give options.
Yeah, I'm going to give you options. I'm going to come up with ideas for us to do things, where we're going to go. You're not going to have to do a lot I think. I'm going to do that thinking for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I met you, you were like the group leader of your buddies.
Yes.
It was you and I noticed, I'm like, oh, they all seem to follow him, or they look to you for, like, hey, what are we doing this weekend, Scott? That kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have, like, being my friend, you're not going to have to worry about not getting invited Friday night.
What about...
Like, you're going to be invited, and you're going to have something to do.
That's true. You're very inclusive.
You're going to be included. And that's one of the big things with me. I'm going to include you.
Yes.
If you want to be there, and of course you're, loyal to me, you're going to be
right.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, what do you bring in, like, okay, so your friend's having a problem. Your friend's going through something. So what do you bring to the table then?
I don't bring much. No. I'm going to give you advice. It's going to be straightforward. It's going to be... I'm going to kind of logically tell you what to do. I'm going to give you sound logical advice.
Yeah.
And, you might take it, you might not.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to follow up. But I'll give you that advice.
Right. I noticed with you, you would do that. I also noticed you'd try to humor them out of it.
Yes,
like try to get, like, well, you're really sad because, I don't know, your girlfriend broke up with you. Boys trip, we're all going to the casino tonight. Like, you always did stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe you're not going to sit and hold their hand through it, but you are going to plan an event and make them forget about it and joke.
Yeah. And you're going, again, you will be included. You will have a great sense of being included in something.
That's what you bring.
That I think is my greatest skill.
Yeah.
Is that you're going to feel part of it.
Right.
And you're going to feel like you're really part of something.
I think it's a good combo of your red and your blue aura there. You know, like the leadership, but also you do care about them.
Yes.
Yeah, and you want them to feel included and happy and the flow of the group and whatnot.
Yeah.
And easy, not a lot of hard discussions.
Right. Right, exactly. And again, you if you don't like to make decisions or plan where we're going, I'm going to do that for you.
Right. Oh, and more than happily, you'll do that for you.
Exactly. And most likely, you're going to be in a group setting too. I don't like one-on-one. Not going to happen so much.
Yeah.
You're going to probably meet other people that are in the group and then become friends with them. So I'm going to make a group, or that.
Yeah, you're good at making introductions.
Yes, you're going to. Yes.
So you'll make other friendships and other connections for them too.
Yes. Exactly.
Well, that's wonderful.
All right.
That's
So
great,
let's take you now.
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Michaela over here. So
yes.
What does someone gain, or what does they get if they're friends with you?
It's the same thing as you just said. Like, I can only look back. This is terrible. Like, to the pre-children.
Well, you have more friends than I do.
I do have friends. I do. That's true. I feel like I was more purple in my friendships pre-children. Now I'm more indigo in my friendships.
Okay.
So, pre-children, I was big on spontaneity and hey, what are we doing? I'll do that. So that's why we work so well together.
Exactly. So I'm gonna be the one telling you what we're doing, and you're gonna be the one saying that, oh, that's fantastic.
Everything's fantastic.
Right.
Like, basically, I don't care, because back then I was more purple, and I don't care. Yeah, I'll go there. Like, I didn't need to be anywhere. Like, whatever.
Right.
Like,
I want to drive, you want to be the passenger.
Yeah, totally. I'm very flexible. I don't care if you want to switch clubs. Oh, I don't want to be at this bar anymore. I want to go to the bar down the street. Okay. All right. Let me cash out. Let's go. 100% Like adaptability, fun, meet new people, talk to whoever. I don't care. No schedule. Don't have to be back at any certain time or whatever. Okay. I love the variety. I don't know, like that. Purple. Like, okay. I think I was very like, just go with the flow and fun. And I like all that.
Okay. So, and now.
But now.
It's a more indigo-y friend.
I'm tired. so like the thought of being out stresses me out because like if I'm out, I'm like, oh, it's 9:00. Oh, I'm going to be tired tomorrow. Or I get exhausted.
Okay.
And I notice too, like the stimulus gets me more than it used to. So if I'm out and a place is really busy, instead of like feeding me, I get really, really tired and depleted easier. So I feel like I just went more indigo. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe the purple will come back. It sounds sad. But now I feel like through a friendship and my friends that I have now,
okay,
I feel like we have really deep conversations. So my big thing is like, oh, let's, if something's going on with somebody that they can't talk to anybody else about, bring it. Like, I love that. Like, my hairdresser the other day, she was like, oh, are you in a good spot to hear what I have to tell you? She wanted to tell me something that was a little heavy for her. I'm like, yeah, of course I am. Let's go. And we talked about something really, 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 really heavy and like really, really deep. And I love that. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I talk about this connect. So that's what my friendships are now.
Okay.
Like, bring me the heavy, deep stuff. And I love it. Okay. And I'll do the same for you.
So basically you're coming to our house. You're going to talk like real indigo problem kind of thing.
Yeah.
Really get deep.
I like the deep conversations, the spiritual conversations.
You're going to talk a little aura color.
Yeah.
Maybe a little Duggars thrown in there. That's going to be next week. But, okay. I get it.
Yeah, I like that. I like quality versus quantity of experience, like that kind of thing, because I'm tired. I'm really exhausted after certain hours. So, all
right.
God, I sound like not fun.
All right, well, if you want to be our friend,
if you want to talk about cats,
this is what
I'm up for that.
Yeah,
too.
That's true. A lot of you're going to see cat videos, things like that. All right, so if you want to be our friends, this is what you're going to get.
Well, I guess my purple comes out now a little bit too. I love to be up on it. Like,
yes, you are.
I do. Yeah. I've always been this way. So even now I'm like, oh, what's the trending on TikTok, or what's everybody watching, or what are all the kids saying, or what does this word mean, or what's this or that, what's going on, and how, like, I love to be up on the current. I do like that. Right. So,
okay.
There you go.
All right. Well, the one thing I do know, and we're going to do an ad here, is that if you're friends with us, you might get some wild grain.
So, hey, Scotty, what is your favorite smell coming from the kitchen?
All right. Let me think on this one. Wild grain.
Oh, yeah.
Cooking. Love it. Everything. I love everything about it. I've said this many times on the podcast. I just know. Everything, croissants, the brownies. I just had the brownies the other day.
Yes.
Amazing.
They were so gooey.
They were
amazing. Really
good. Our oven actually broke. I got it fixed just because
true.
I wanted to cook
that is so
the brownies
true.
from Wild Grain. That is the truth, people.
We did it for the Wild Grain. We actually called the repair person to come over because we needed our Wild Grain. Well, Wild Grain is the first ever bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, fresh pastas, and artisanal pastries. Unlike typical supermarket bread, Wild Grain uses a slow fermentation process that's easier on your belly, lower in sugar, and rich in nutrients and antioxidants. And let me tell you something, it fills you up. It fills you up. Every item bakes from frozen in 25 minutes or less. You put it in there frozen and it comes out perfectly done. You'll never run the risk of getting bored with Wild Grain. They're constantly adding new, seasonal, and limited special items to try. Plus, for every new member, Wild Grain donates 6 meals to the Greater Boston Food Bank, so you can eat good and know that you're doing good all at the same time. All you have to do is sign up at wildgrain.com/KYA and choose which type of box you want to receive and how often. It's easy to reschedule, skip, or cancel. Plus, for a limited time, you can get $30 off the first box, plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/KYA to start your subscription. You heard me. Free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/KYA. That's wildgrain.com/KYA, or you can use promo code KYA at checkout. So we thought it would be fun to talk about some celebrity friendships in Aura Color. These are some very famous people that you probably know. And apparently they've been actual friends for years. So we thought, okay, how did their friendships work in Aura Color? So what do you got for me, Scotty?
All right. So we selected some couples. Most of them I do know. There's one couple I have no idea who they are.
They're like friendship couples. They're not couples. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of the celebrities I don't know. I mean, that's one of the things I'm known for, not knowing who celebrities are.
Yes, you are known for things.
I'm known for that. Yeah. When people meet me, they say, hey, you're the guy that doesn't know who celebrities are.
Right.
Anyway. All right. So the first one I do know, it's Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, right? Are they pronounce those right? Okay.
Yeah.
And we have their childhood photos for all these couples.
Right.
And I'm going to do my quick read on them.
Okay.
And then we'll give it over to you. Well, that's how we usually do things,
okay.
right?
Apparently they're actual friends.
Yeah. So that kind of shocked me at first, because I know they're in the movie Titanic, and she let him die at the end. She only let herself on the raft and not him because, so I figured they wouldn't be so much friends anymore. But all right. So Leonardo, to me, he's got this weird, I got this kid picture of him in like a funky shirt, and he looks like a green purple to me. And Kate Winslet looks like a yellow purple. Am I anywhere close on those two?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Kate Winslet, she's yellow purple. I mean, she's such an amazing actress. That's the thing too. Like when you, and he's an amazing actor. Like when you see these people act, just to clear the air real quick, I do not read auras when somebody's acting because they bring themselves into it, but the aura is just all mishy-mashy, so I don't even bother. So I had to get pictures of them when they weren't acting and kid pictures to kind of really help me with this. But she's such an amazing actress, but she's yellow-purple. Like, I feel like she has her method down. I mean, she feels like a professional. She feels really understanding about what her roles are versus who she is, which I think is really interesting. So there's like boundaries around her that feel really healthy. And when I look at the little kid picture of Leonardo DiCaprio, because he's been acting forever, he feels like almost like a savant to me. Like when I look at him as a kid, I'm like, this kid's smart. He knows where he's going. He's got major old soul vibes. Like he just is naturally gifted at this. And he's been so adult for so many years, which is why I think he ends up dating all these girls that aren't over. I think the joke is at 24, he can't date you anymore. The second you turn 24, it's over funny. Or something like that. But seriously, I feel like he skipped over so much of that. He spends his free time trying to be that. Anyways, he's green purple. So I feel like how their friendship works together is, listen, I don't think that they're hanging out often. I think that the way that when they see each other, they just feel very comfortable together. I feel like she's very motherly towards him in a lot of ways. I can see her seeing him as like a kid and kid energy, and she can laugh off things that other people might find awkward about him or weird or a little like, what did he just say? Like that. Because I'm sure he does that a lot, honestly. I think he says things that's like, are you serious? And he's just, Leo.
Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like she's very motherly towards him in a lot of ways, but respects him and understands his boundaries, and they just feel like that comfortable together.
All right.
So no, I don't think that they're hanging out every Saturday or something, but I do feel like when they see each other, they bond very well, and they can laugh together. And she finds him funny.
Okay, and this is what I get. Now, I agree with you. I think they're both incredibly talented actress. Whereas a lot of people in Hollywood, I just think they're just being themselves and they're not so great. But these two I actually feel are incredibly talented.
They act, you're trying to say.
Yeah. They actually do act. That's correct.
Right.
Where most of them are, like I said, they're just being themselves and they're in that one role and they'll always be that one role.
Okay.
So they could basically get together and talk about how their acting skills are so great and then talk about how these other actors are so terrible and how did they become actors. That's what I think. You know what?
I don't even think.
Is that possible?
I think they're so above all that because they're so talented.
Yeah.
I feel like this world for them feels. How do I put it? It's like because they don't care. It's worked for them.
Okay.
Like they care about the roles. I feel like they have that, and they really care about the art.
Yeah.
But the nonsense and stuff like that, for some reason, I feel like they've coasted over it. Maybe they just have the management companies that scooped them up that just deal with all that for them or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I also feel that they probably act out scenes from the Titanic where like they're on the bow of the ship and doing their little thing. Okay. So that happens too, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the next couple.
So funny.
All right. I have no clue who these people are.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know if I know how to pronounce their names. This is Zendaya.
Yes, good.
And
Hunter Schafer.
Okay.
So,
I don't know who they are.
Okay, if you're like me and you love Euphoria, you know who they are. So the show Euphoria is on HBO Max, or I think they renamed themselves Max, which is really weird.
I think it's Max.
Max. Okay. I can't. Anyway, like, so it's a show Euphoria about a bunch of very mature teenagers. And if you watch it, it will, and you're a parent like me, and I watched it, I was like, oh my God.
Is
like,
this a show about teenagers?
It's about teenagers, but like, you didn't watch it.
They look older than that, though.
Well, they are, but the show's about teenagers, but it's so disturbing, but it's also so good.
Is it teenagers played by like 35-year-olds?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like, well, you wouldn't want these themes to be played out by actual teenagers, trust me.
Right.
Okay, so anyway, so Zendaya's Rue and Hunter Schafer is her friend Jules in the show. Anyways.
Right.
So I had to get like little kid pictures of them too to kind of like read them. So Zendaya, I always call her like a floaty purple. So she, to me, is very floaty. Purple, what does that mean? I feel like she's just like, okay, whatever, drama, moving on, like, whatever. Like, she can, like, hone into the heart of something, but also coast over something that she does not want to give her energy or attention to, which I feel like has served her very well. She has blue, too, but she has, like, a little red. It feels like a work red or something. It's not her. It's something that she wears when she's out there. I feel like she's a great self-advocate, and she's an advocate for others. And when she sees people getting dumped on or hurt or played or manipulated, she will not handle it. She's just been in this industry for a long time, and she feels like she has a lot of confidence. Now, Hunter Schafer was actually born male, so I have a picture of her as a child when she was, I guess, a boy. And she's very, very, very turquoise. I mean, she was turquoise then, like kind of a turquoise yellow as a kid, and now she's turquoise yellow now, but it looks a little bit more confident, a little bit more her. She's got little pieces of pink in there too right now. She, to me, feels like she's sensitive. And so I feel like how they work as a friendship couple is Zendaya is basically saying, let me show you the ropes. Let me help you. Let me advise you. You don't have to do that scene. Think about that. You don't have to do that scene. Think about that. This is how you self-advocate on set. This is how you, especially somebody who's turquoise with that little pink in her, and also she's a trans woman. Like, there's so many ways she could get taken advantage of or manipulated or pushed around or bullied. I mean, everybody can in that industry, but I can just see Zendaya being like, hey, Hunter, let me help you out with this. And I feel like Hunter is just really appreciative for that. Zendaya has like mom, like kind of mom or big sister vibes, and it's sweet. So I feel like their friendship is very...
And that's that little bit of red in her.
She's got that little red. Out. It's not exactly her, but it feels like it's been there so long. It's part of the industry red. I think you need that. I think you need that in that world. Yeah. You need something. Yeah. I wouldn't be real great. I'd be more like Hunter. I would be like, help me.
All right. So, and again, you're saying they do seem to be real friends.
They seem like real friends. I feel like Hunter is the type, she can call up Zendaya and be like, this happened. What do I say? What do I do? And Zendaya's like, this is what you say. This is what you do. This is what you need to call. This is how you put it. This is what's going to happen. I feel like Zendaya is just like great at advice. And letting her know, like, you're not going to get fired if you say no for this. And if you do, that's a problem. And you don't want the job anyways. Like, I feel like she's been giving her really good advice like that career-wise. That's what I feel.
All right.
I don't know if that's happening. That's just what I feel.
All right.
I look at these pictures.
That's what you get.
This is what I get. I get phone calls between them like that. Okay.
All right. Next we have Jenny JWoww and Nicole Snooki. So this was actually probably the last reality TV show I watched. They were from Jersey Shore.
Oh my God.
I watched the first season of that. Absolutely loved it. Second season was terrible, so I didn't watch it anymore. And I think I quit reality TV after that show. So I do know who they are. And I'm going to, just from watching the show many years ago, I'm assuming they're both crazy purple.
They are. That's correct. So when I look at, and I have their kid pictures, but when I look at JWoww now, she's like red and purple.
Okay.
And when I look at Snooki, she's purple and blue, but she's got like elements of pink in her as well. So now I have to look at their kid pictures.
Okay.
All right, hang on. Let's go look at those.
So we got a red, purple, and a purple, blue.
Yeah, so when I look at JWoww as a little kid, she's totally red, purple. She reminds me of Brie in a lot of ways, actually. And Snooki is...
she does. Yeah,
she does. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And Snooki is totally...
It's total purple.
She's like purple, pink... crazy kid, so cute. They're both really cute. Yeah. But like JWoww as a kid, I should probably say their real names, but I don't know them.
I think it was Jenny
and Nicole or something.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say JWoww as a kid, little JWoww. She feels like she's just always been assertive, which gets mislabeled and little girls as bossy like that. But she just is confident and she just won't let people get away with stuff. That's not what's going to happen with little baby JWoww. And then little baby Snooki feels like she's always been a fun time and probably always was the comic relief and always was likes to make people laugh.
Yeah.
That's her thing.
And that's what you would do
and
on the
that's
show,
how
right?
she is now.
Yeah.
I feel like how their friendship works, the two of them, and this is why it's worked. And they've had spin-off shows with each other, by the way, and whatnot. I think they have kids the same age and things like that. Anyways, I feel like JWoww really does protect Snooki. What I notice with these Hollywood friendships, a lot of protection things going on. That's kind of interesting. I feel like JWoww definitely protects Snooki. I can see Snooki being, I mean, obviously throughout the years being misinterpreted as, crazy or obnoxious or
purple shamed.
Purple shaming, attention seeking. She's also got that little pink in her, so people want to take advantage, maybe different brands or I don't know how it works out there, different opportunities can try to take advantage of her. And I can see JWoww being like, no, you're not doing that. No, absolutely not. Call them and say no. So I feel like JWoww tries to protect her. And I feel like Snooki tries to mother JWoww. JWoww feels like the type that she's been through a lot in her life and she has a hard time letting people in because I feel like there's this fear of rejection that she has all the time. So it's easier sometimes with people who have that fear of rejection to be a hard ass and be that as your persona rather than let somebody in and see how fragile you are inside. But I feel like she's let Snooki inside. And I feel like Snooki's just like a really caring, sweet person and would never hurt her. So anyway, so I feel like, again, they mother each other. They've been through a lot together. And it actually feels like a really sweet, chaotic, but sweet
a lot
friendship.
Of fight, maybe a lot of fireworks.
I can see them being sisterly.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like sometimes it's like, you're really pissing me off today. I can see them doing that a little bit, but nothing serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We have one more.
Okay.
This is my favorite. I say my favorite for last. I thought this one was absolutely hysterical. We have Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
And he is friends with Guy Fieri. I think I pronounced
Yeah,
that
you
right.
did that good.
From the Food Channel, drivers.
We all watched him during the pandemic.
Yeah,
Didn't we all watch that?
I am still watching that show. It's pretty much the only show I watch.
You get starving when you watch it.
You do.
And that's the only problem with it.
Yeah.
And I don't have good food, so I just am like, I'll just eat this bowl of cereal while I watch it.
No, it's like I usually watch it like 10 o'clock at night, and then I'm going to have to bring out the Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
And the wild grain. Okay, add the wild grain.
Wild grain.
Because it does make you hungry. And
Makes
you're
you
like,
so
oh my
hungry,
God.
that show.
I mean, it's a great show. But
What is it? It's such a great show.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know Matthew McConaughey as much. I mean, I don't know Guy Fieri either. But I would have. I know I've heard you say he's definitely purple. I mean, there's no way he's not purple.
Yeah.
And I would say, I mean, to me, he's more like he gives off like a red, definitely red vibe. Mm-hmm. I mean, he might not be red. I don't know. And maybe even, he's a little, does he have any blue in there? Probably not. But he seems to really care about those restaurants.
Yeah.
And that is why I think people love the show.
Yeah.
Or why I love the show. I don't think he's a red blue, but I would say red purple maybe. And Matthew McConaughey, I'm not sure on him.
So, yeah, I love that they're friends.
Yeah, that's that's got to be fun, though. That's got to be fun.
That's really funny. So, yeah, when I look at Guy Fieri on TV, he looks like purple and green to me. But there's something off about it.
Right.
So sometimes somebody will look like something. He actually looks like he's acting or he's like, yeah. And I wonder, it's like I see those colors, like that's what I see. but it doesn't feel like him.
Yeah.
So I got the kid pictures.
Yeah.
Which is my new favorite thing to do. And as a kid, he's like very red.
Yeah.
And he's got purple in him and a little blue is in there when he's younger. And then but then as he gets older, the blue goes away and it's just red purple. Because I have like a bunch of pictures, like little kid, and then I have teenager.
Yeah.
So little kid him is like red, blue, and then like older him is like red, purple. Anyways, so this is one of those cases where I feel like Guy Fieri, like what happened was he started his own empire and he's got his own branding and he probably helps produce the show. And I think he has restaurants and he's trying to make this a thing bigger than him. He's trying to make a legacy for his family and he is trying to do something that outlasts him. You even see it like when he brings his kids on the show now and all sorts of stuff. But I feel like at the heart of it, it's these small businesses and the blood, sweat, and tears that these line chefs put into their work. Right. That's a very Red Aura thing to kind of want to show the little guy and raise him up. Like, look at this. Right. Look at all this passion that goes into this place. And it's a dive. This place is a dive. And look at the daily passion this person pours into his food. Yeah. And then get the patrons to say how amazing he is so that he knows that. So it's like very red blue of him to do that. But I feel like the way that he's done it is more green purple. Yeah. So if he did it in a red blue way, it might not have gotten as far as it has.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So he had to kind of wear those other colors to bring it out. Yeah. To the fact that we're talking about him today. And Matthew McConaughey is green purple now. And then I got a picture of him as a kid and he's green purple then. And green purples, and this is the difference between there was something off about Guy Fieri when I see green purple on him. It's not like he feels more stressed than he is, or how do I say it? Yeah, than he's putting off. Right. Because red people are always stressed. So anyways, Matthew McConaughey is like, whatever, man. Like, hey, all right. And as a kid, if you just do yourself a favor and look up Matthew McConaughey as a kid, this kid looks like the chillest kid who probably got like all C's on his homework, but he's cute and he's like, hey, Miss Smith, your beautiful blouse today. And it's like, A+, Matthew McConaughey. Like he's just so chill and like whatever and so green purple. And that's how they are.
Yeah. I mean, he, to me, is the guy that knocks on the cave of darkness to tell Aaron Rodgers, all right, come on, guy, let's get out of here and let's go get a couple beers with Guy.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
Come on, man. This darkness thing, it's over.
It's over.
All right,
let's
you did
go.
Great. Let's go.
Yeah, like, life's not that difficult. Yeah. Let's run on the beach shirtless, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's called green purple.
Yes. So that's what I get from him.
It's like the green purple, like the guru green purple kind of guys. Sometimes I'll talk about the CEO green. The CEO green people are more everything they touch turns to gold. But again, it's like that ease. Like when you're green purple, you don't know this if you're green purple because, of course, you're working your butt off. But to other people, it looks like you're like, oh, I just did it. And then I went surfing. And like that's what people see in you. They're like, how'd you just do that? And then he went surfing. Like, why is everything so easy for you?
Yeah, it's like I don't remember the movie, but he like when he was younger, he played this part where he was like it was like a high schooler, and he was like kind of the druggy guy driving around the car. Was it Dazed and Confused?
Oh my God, am I getting it mixed up?
I don't know, but he was like this like cool guy.
That's like how he is.
Yeah. And that was like the true him probably before he does what like his Lincoln
commercials.
That he's acting.
He was really good in True Detective.
Oh yeah, he was real good. He was real good. Yeah, he was real good. Yeah. He's a good actor. Yeah, he's a good actor. And Guy Fieri apparently is too. Although we can tell when he's acting though, because
we've talked about this.
Yeah, we did.
No, we've already talked about this.
All right,
yes,
so
we did.
All right.
We talked about this.
He basically tells everything's great, and we know when he doesn't like something.
We figured out when we already did.
We got his tells down.
All
right. So okay. So all right, let's do a quick ad, and then when we come back, you're going to give your speech.
The cat food I used to feed my cats stunk. It was, that you open the cat food, the can of food. I would hold my breath. I'd give it to him. And then, it's not really great for their tummies either, because after I'd feed it to them, and I'll spare you details, that did not look like a good scene for them. And then also they just stunk. Like their breath stunk, I stunk, the kitchen would stink. No, this is why you have to try Smalls. It has changed everything about feeding my cat. Now's the time to update your cat food, just like I did with Smalls. It is protein-packed recipes made with preservative-free ingredients you'd find in your own fridge, and it's delivered right to your door. Smalls was started back in 2017 by a couple of guys. They were at home cooking cat food in small batches for their friends, but today Smalls has served millions of meals to cats all across America, including my own 3 baby kitties. At this point, you might be wondering, why can't I just feed my cat kibble? Well, believe it or not, your cute kitty descended from ferocious desert cats who hunted live prey for food, and your cat isn't any different. They need fresh, protein-packed meals to be at their best. Other cat food brands know this, but they choose to put their wallets first. They fill their foods with mysterious meat byproducts, artificial flavoring, and preservatives with names I don't even want to try to pronounce. If that sounds gross, imagine having to eat it every day. After making the switch to Smalls, 78% of cat owners, and I'm one of these people, reported their cats had shinier and softer fur, and 90% reported overall health improvements. I mean, that's such a big deal. And the team at Smalls is so confident your cat will love their product that you can try it risk-free. That means they will refund you if your cat won't eat their food, which, trust me, they will. All 3 of mine eat it. They wait by my fridge. Okay, they know they're smart. My babies are smart. They wait by the fridge and they look at me, and because they know it's Smalls time. I can finally open a packet of cat food and not get nauseous. Okay, I recognize the ingredients in a packet of Smalls cat food. Remember, higher quality ingredients mean a healthier and happier life for your kitty. So head to smalls.com/KYA and use promo code KYA at checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use my code KYA for 50% off your first order. One last time, that's promo code KYA for 50% off your order plus free shipping. So many ways I could talk about aura colors and how they work in friendship. You know how I love reading photos. I love looking at your auras, and in readings, it's just a great thing to do. 9 times out of 10, a lot of you will include pictures of you and your friends and your close people in your life. And it's just really nice to see the support systems and just how you give each other things and how you love each other. It's just a really special relationship, a friendship. And what is friendship? You know, there really isn't one definition of a friend. You may have friends in your life for a reason, a season, a lifetime, and we need different types of friends, and our friends need that too. Our friends need us to be different for them as well. So, you know, I read, and doing research for this, I read that the average friendship lasts only about 7 years. So what happens a lot is when we're on our spiritual awakenings and our growth or our evolutions, what happens, like sometimes you grow out of people or they'll grow out of you, you know, and it's not always this negative thing. Sometimes it's just a growing apart or just a calm kind of removal from one another's lives. It's not always high drama or anything. And you can look back at those times of your life with love and gratitude. It's just, you know, when you see them, it's just not the same. So I thought that was an interesting statistic. And according to research, there are 3 main friendship types. Okay, so there's historical or lifelong friendships. So these are your friends. It's like once they're in kind of friends, you know, you've known them for this long and they become family at this point. So even if you don't always catch up or you change and they change and you go on different paths, there's just something about the friendship. You always come back together. So this historical lifetime friendships, but then there's common interest friends. That's the second type. These are like friends for kind of a moment in your life. Like maybe you're in college and they're your college friends. You get really close to these people. Or maybe you're in sports and these are your teammates, or maybe you're a mom and these are other mom friends, or these are your coworkers at your job or what have you. These can be amazing, important, really really deep friendships, it's just they center around a common activity or interest that you both share, and they don't always go into the historical or lifelong friendship category. And they're a varied type of friend. And then finally, we have the intimate friendships. Now, these are the ones you strongly bond with on all the deeper levels. You evolve, you grow with these people, sometimes even more than historical friends, because it's about the evolution, not the stability. Like, these aren't people that expect you to stay the same. Okay, like these are people that are like, hey, change, I'm changing, we're changing together, we're going through this together. So these are kind of more those intimate relationships in your life. And sometimes they last forever and sometimes they don't, but you share a lot of growth with this person and you share a lot of deep connection and you give a lot of unconditional support and love to one another while you go through something. Good or bad. Sometimes it can be a good thing that you both are going through, or sometimes it can be tough times, but intimate connection. So that's the third type. So when I started doing this work full time, a lot of people in my life, they couldn't get it. Like, they had a hard time seeing me as somebody that they didn't conceive in their head who I was. I think that's a lot of us have that in our lives. You have friends and they expect you to be a certain way. And they expect you to find certain things funny or not funny, or find, you're Megan, you don't like public speaking, or you're Megan, you don't like attention, or you're Megan, you don't want to stand out of the crowd. So when I started doing this, they're like, what's going on here? Like, what? Like, you're talking about things like you're being a psychic, you're doing auras, like what's going on? So they had a hard time with the conceptualization of me as I was like, yeah, I'm going to be out about this now. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break the mold of what you think I am. And this happens for a lot of us, so many people. And it's not, some people stuck around and some people, they just, again, grew apart. No big deal. It just was weird for them or whatever. And I see this happening with you all the time. I had a client, this happens all the time, but this is just this week, so it's perfect. I had a client, she was really getting into Reiki and spiritual practices. And, a lot of her friends were like, what are you doing? And what's this about? And are you losing your mind? They just didn't get it. They didn't understand where she was going with this. And she wasn't fitting who they defined her as anymore. And it made her feel sad, of course, because these are her friends. And you don't necessarily need your friends to get it. Sometimes you just need a new group to come in. And that doesn't mean you have to get rid of the old ones. It just means that maybe it's time to make some room for some new friends. So I think it's always important to understand when you go on these spiritual journeys, you're going to find yourself having a more purposeful and conscious and conscientious manner to creating these bonds and friendships. And you might be noticing that some people kind of drift off, and you have to be open to new people coming in, because I find, and I've talked about this on the relationship episode too, with what type of relationship you have. Some, you have people in your life, and you're this way for people too. So you might be the person that's bringing something into somebody else's life, or they might be the person bringing it into your life. People come with purposes for you. And the purposes, I feel like, can oftentimes, especially during a spiritual journey, be extremely poignant and helpful and cataclysmic in your own development. But today, I wanted to talk about auras and friends. And this is fun. This is a fun episode. I thought, okay, because there's like so many ways we could do it, and we could do other episodes too, like the dynamics of friendships and all sorts of this, but let's do types of friends. So I went on a psychology website and they were like the 8 types of friends you have to have in your life. And so I took each one and I'm like, oh, let's talk about that in aura color though. All right. So the first type of friend everyone should have, or you may have already, is the tell it like it is friend. Can you guess what aura color that's going to be? Yellow. That's right. So yellow auras, they're honest. They see the patterns before you do. They want to fix things for you. They want to take over. They're lovely people. They want to mitigate the challenges you're facing when you let them. And the tell it like it is friend, they love us enough to risk the fallout of being tell it like it is to you. Like they will risk that fallout. Like, I'm sorry you don't like what you just heard, but this helps you. So this information is necessary for you right now. I just know. And they love you enough to risk your annoyance with them for it. And I think that that's a very high purpose. They can show us what's really going on when our emotions cloud us. They have a real need to call out mistakes on the people that they love. They tell it like it is, but they want you to do the same thing for them. When it's a healthy relationship, they're brutally honest, but for them, brutally honest is actually lovingly honest. That's love. That's why they're going to say the thing. They're going to be like, hey, that outfit doesn't work on you, or don't marry that person. They're not the one. Okay. Or time to level up your career path. You can do better than what you're doing, or you need to know what is going on in your life right now, whatever it is that you're participating in, that's beneath you, and you can do better than that. The tell it like it is friend, I see as the yellow aura, is the one that's going to see the bigger picture and fill you in when you can't see it yourself. And we can love them for that. Then the second type of friend is the opposite friend, when you need a friend that's like totally different than you. And I'm going to say that's the purple aura friend. Purple auras tend to find other people who aren't like them. So if you're purple aura, you might actually I'm sure you have purple aura friends, but you actually might like people who aren't like you personally. And I love all sorts of auras, but I love yellow. I love my yellow aura friends, and I'm purple. I just love yellow. I like that they're so not like me. Anyways, but purple aura friends, they're different than you usually. They're all about changing it up. So usually purple auras will gravitate towards aura colors who are different than they are, because man, life's more fun when you get a newbie involved in the way that you see the world. And purple auras love to bring you in to that fun / mess-ish kind of way of seeing things. So what do purple auras do for you in a friendship? I mean, they really can expand the version of life you've been living in with their perspective. Even if you're purple and they're purple, they might be tasked in this friendship with reawakening your purple, which I see a lot in readings. I'll see people like, hey, your girlfriend, she's trying to wake up your purple. She's trying to shake it out of you. So they might really and be encouraging you to stop sweating the small stuff and nudge you to increase your adaptability and flexibility in life. Your go with the flow. Hey, whatever. Hey, it is what it is. Hey, accept reality for what it is and, coast on that. Let's go. You stop trying to change everything. Stop trying to control everything. They can really encourage you to tap into your creative side. Let's do this together. Let's do that together. Why not? Say it. Who cares? Be loud. Try it. Go up there for karaoke night. Belt it out. You're never going to see any of these people again. We're on a cruise. Let's go. Do the dance competition. They're going to move you into those spaces, and they'll applaud your rebellious nature when they encourage you to just question things more. When you come home crying from work because your boss said something, XYZ about your performance, they might be like, well, who is this person? And maybe it's good that you didn't always listen to him. I mean, they might just give you the rebellious side, the against the man, don't be the cog in the machine kind of perception that you might need to reach out of your own limited perspective of yourself, where you're, going to beat yourself up more than a purple aura would. Okay, so third type of friend is the different friend. One that's a little different. How else do you say different? Like alternate, or the friend that's a little, outside of society's expectations. Okay, there's your turquoise aura friend. Your turquoise aura friends. I mean, listen, turquoise auras, I love them. It's not always good for you to fit into society, and spending time with a turquoise, which is usually someone who's never quite fit into society and has always been on the fringe of fitting in gives you more confidence in being yourself more. I mean, that's what they bring to the friendship. They encourage you to do really fringe things. Like, let's go to the retreat. Let's go to the spiritual class. Let's have a nature moment. Let's meditate in this, I don't know, meadow I just found. Let's go to Comic-Con. Let's dress up as these anime characters. They will show you new friends and places you didn't even know existed. And they're very fringy about it. So they'll take you to the music festival, but it's not like the one everyone's going to. Like, it's not Coachella, okay? It's the one that... not promoted at all, has all the it's very Woodstock, back in the actual days vibe, like very authentic. Nobody's knows about it. There's all the other turquoises are there, and your festival wear is not from Shein. It's thrifted or borrowed with quotation marks from, grandma and your roommate. So like, they will bring you to places that are fringy, allowing you to feel more freedom in the fringe. There is freedom in the fringe, and turquoises know this about life. They allow you to be yourself in a place where there is zero judgment. They nudge you into a quest for identity, which they themselves understand. Identity shifts, identity changes in a lifetime. Identity needs to be, resurfaced every once in a while and re-implemented and rediscovered. And they give you a grounded approach to self-validation. We validate ourselves. We don't look for that from anything outside, because turquoises aren't used to getting that from outside. So they've learned how to do it themselves. And they can teach you that too, which makes them great, different friends. The mature friend is the next type of friend, the mature one. The mom or dad friend, the parental unit friend. Indigo auras. Okay. Being around someone who has just an openly old soul. They might be 27, but they got those grandma vibes. Indigos, you know what I'm talking about. It allows others to feel safe and nurtured. Indigos are great friends because they give deeper conversations a safe place to occur. We can talk about the deep things. With the indigos, they prefer that, actually. Small talk is super anxiety producing. Let's just go straight to your issues, because indigos feel them on you anyway, so they're more than happy. It's comfortable for indigos to talk about that stuff. Indigos definitely encourage your journey into self and into the relationship you have with who you authentically are. They're going to be like, hey, therapy's great. Journaling, read about it, talk about it, evolve, think about it, dive in there. Don't be scared of your feelings. They're just feelings. Feelings are friends. Let's do it. Emotions. You don't feel great today? Feel kind of crummy? Cool. That's okay. That's not a bad thing. That's just the way it is today. Let's not be fearful of feelings. They give you validation for the growth they see in you. Most people don't notice. When you go through these spiritual shifts and these spiritual awakenings, a lot of people won't notice it on you. This is inside stuff. A spiritual awakening is an inside thing. But your indigo friend will notice it on you. Hey, I noticed that you feel calmer, and I've noticed that you're giving more words to things. They'll notice those subtle things that are invisible to other people, and they can validate them in you, which is very nice. They can handle things that are just too heavy for other people. You don't ever feel like you're putting the indigo or a friend out when you're mentioning something that's actually like traumatic or upsetting for other people, or if other people just don't understand it, like a layered deep feeling. Your indigo or a friend can get that. And they give really great advice because they're kind of parental and they got that old soul vibe. And they're really just close confidants. They're very close confidants to you. They can keep a secret. They can hold it. And you know what's great about the indigo aura friend is, you don't always need to hang out with them. Like, every once in a while is good. It doesn't have to be all the time. Some friends you have to do a lot of keeping up with. Your indigo aura friends, you really don't have to. Like, once every few months, it's good. And the level of connection that you have when you're together suffices. Okay. Now, before we continue on, I want to talk about a friend of the podcast and your friend too, your Stitch Fix personal stylist. Summer is here. I'm going to visit a lot of family this summer, and I just got overwhelmed. I'm like, what am I wearing? Like, what am I wearing to this? What am I wearing to that? Oh, guess what? I don't have to think about it because I have a Stitch Fix personal stylist and so do you. And all you have to do is write to them and you tell them, hey, I'm going on a road trip and I'm going to visit this person. There's probably gonna be some dinners, or I'm going here and I have hiking to do, but I also have to look nice in the evening. Just tell them that. And guess what? They send you exactly what you need and even things you didn't know you needed in the latest styles and trends. So you're actually excited about the outfits and you didn't have to stress about creating them. Stitch Fix is the best way to discover new styles and brands just for you. I mean, you can think of Stitch Fix as your style partner. Your stylist will learn about your tastes and collaborate with you on looks you'll love. All you have to do is answer a few questions about where you typically like to shop, what you like to wear, and your price range. With your choices in mind and a wide range of sizes available from extra small to 3XL, they'll find your perfect fit. They've got you covered with over 1,000 brands and styles. Try your your pieces at home before you buy. Just keep what you love and send back the rest. Shipping, returns, exchanges, always free. There's no subscription required. Simply order a refresh as needed or set it and forget it with regular seasonal fixes. You are completely in control. There's no tricky things, no strings attached. Try Stitch Fix today at stitchfix.com/KYA and you'll get 25% off when you keep everything in your fix. That's stitchfix.com/KYA for 25% off today. stitchfix.com/KYA. Okay, next type of friend. We're going to talk about the adventurous friend, which I assigned the green aura friend. I mean, greens have passion. They have enthusiasm. If you know a green, you know this about your green aura. And it's contagious. It could be like the weirdest, oddest thing. It's just their amount of love for it is just almost mind-boggling that you're like, okay, like I'll try it too. Like, that's interesting. They will bring you fully into their world. They'll teach you about it. They'll shop with you for the, attire needed. I mean, they will do it 100% with you. So what does your green aura friend bring to this relationship? Greens love their focus and they can bring you into that focus, especially if you're going through something or you're just like, I don't know, I need a reset on the world. You can walk into their world and all of a sudden it's like a whole new vibe. Maybe they're really into scuba diving or they're really into landscaping or they're really into rock climbing or they're really into fishing or something. Like, they'll bring you into their world and you'll see like, oh my gosh, I get it. Like, everything else just evaporates and we're only thinking about this. That's really peaceful. And it's really nice. It's a gift they can give you, those green auras. A lot of times green auras are into travel and getting lost in the world a bit. And they don't ascribe that anxiety to it like the rest of us do. They really show you how to enjoy those feelings. They're fun about it. Going outside your comfort zone physically, maybe even by hiking or rock climbing or learning how to drive a boat. It's a huge confidence booster and they'll teach you. They're great teachers when they're passionate about something. And another thing they'll teach you is that passions aren't fickle. Passions aren't something we put to the side. Passions aren't anything other than your priority. Green auras are good like that. A really healthy green aura, they put their passions first. And they will show you that your passion's your lifeblood and you need to honor your passion because it's an extension of you and your growth. So it's a lovely thing to have a green aura friend who can do all that with you. Then you kind of need your competitive friend, the one that's going to keep your edge sharp. And that is your red aura friend. Being around a person who constantly wants to test themselves and raise their own limits and see how much they can do now, that can give you the context to do the same within you. How much of a better version can I become in a context that really tests me? Trial and error and challenge and pushing oneself. This could be in work. This could be in an athletic endeavor. This could be in school. Like anything that's just like that competitive feeling. You don't have to be competitive with other people. You can even be just competitive with yourself. I did this well last week. How can I do better this week. It could be with academics. It could be with anything you can think of. Just really putting yourself to the fire and seeing how you can forge a more cohesive you out of that flame. They inspire you to be a version of yourself you didn't even know existed or could be. Extremes are places where fast growth can happen. So they'll stick you in that extreme. Like, all right, we're signing up for the mud run. It's like, I've never ran before. Well, guess what? In 6 weeks you are. So now's the time. You signed up. Let's do it. That's that extreme thing. And all of a sudden it's like, well, I better do it. I got to do it. I signed up. That's where growth can happen. Fast growth. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it is fast. I wouldn't be signing up for a mud run, but maybe other people would. Life's too short to sit and wait for something to happen. And red auras know that, and they will encourage you like, hey, life's too short. We got to get at it. We got to go. We got to move. They have a hard time sitting down and watching life pass them by. They want to participate, and they'll drag you into it too, which is good. They get you moving, and they'll just aggressively push you when you really need it. And they'll also like point out things in you that are underdeveloped. They'll be like, hey, you can do that better. Or you know what? Like that's something that you're low confidence about, but I see that you have potential there. So let's do it. Come on. No excuses. Push yourself. What, you scared? Too bad. Fear is a motivator. So they really make you a different version of yourself, which can be good in a lot of ways. Then you have your comfort friend. It's easy peasy friend. Those are your blue auras. Friendship, it really should be easy, right? And comforting and kind, where you feel that feeling of connectedness in a world where there's so much of the opposite. You don't even have to know blue auras a long time to have a blue aura friend that feels like this too. Could be like you move into a new apartment unit and this is just your neighbor and you can just tell she's great. You can just go over there for tea and you don't even have to talk on a super deep level. It just feels connected. The vibe is so connected. That's like a blue aura thing to do. You can feel very seen in these friendships. They talk to you a little bit, then they start suggesting things to you, like, which just shows you that they see you like, hey, here's a book. Here's a book I think that you would enjoy. Here's a place you wanted to go. Let's go together. I made a reservation. Oh, you're going away for the weekend? Let me watch your cat. I'll watch your cat for you. No problem. They are just kind. You feel safe with these blue aura friends. You feel that they're genuine. Even if you don't know them that well, you just feel that connected spirit that they have, that soul connection that they're extending to you. And then you feel like the world's a really nice and kind place. This is what they can foster for the people around them, blue aura friends. They allow you to erase some of the jadedness which comes with living life and other issues. So blue aura friends are those comfort friends. Finally, we all need a hype friend. We need a friend that's like up for it. We need a friend that's going to do the thing. And is going to do it right. And that's your pink aura friend. I call it your hype friend. It is really nice to see things in a way which is positive, fun, uplifting. Just like when you were 8 years old and you saw your neighbor kid, your other 8-year-old neighbor, and they saw you and you were like, let's do it. Let's play Magic Kitties. That's what my kids always played for some reason. Magic Kitties and with the neighborhood kids. But like the grown-up version of that, like, hey, let's go see the Barbie movie. You in? I'm in. Pink auras they're like, yeah, let's go. Fun is the focus. Anything else is dismissed other than we're having fun. So that's the priority. They help you get used to attention from others, too. Pink auras get so much attention. They don't mean to get attention. They just get it. And they'll give you tips on how to handle it. Because when you hang out with a pink aura, you might start getting attention, too, which, it's interesting. And they can encourage you to find a joy moment in your own life, regardless of what you've been told is practical. Maybe you're 30 and you feel like my time for wearing pink mini skirts is over. Well, your pink aura hype friend is like, it is absolutely not over, ever, actually. This is what we're wearing. Or they just, maybe you decide, I want a pink toaster, but maybe that's too immature of me. Not at all. Pink aura friend, they'll buy you one. Maybe going to the concert and dressing up to fit in is something you feel silly about, they're going to do it with you. So pink auras are your hype friends. They're the ones that teach you how to plug into the fun stuff and disassociate from other people's opinions, thoughts, or needs when they see you having a great time. Because when you go have fun and you plug into the joy, unfortunately, it can upset some people that don't feel like that's available to them. And pink aura friends are great at teaching you about that's really sad, but we're not even paying attention to that because that's not the joy. The joy is the focus. So I want to hear about your friendships. You guys know my obsession with Osea, right? I mean, if you don't already, here we go. Because they have a new product. It is summer and the weather makes us wear less clothing, especially here. I live in Florida, so it's a lot more skin showing. And their new product, okay, the Undaria Collagen Body Lotion, it's a new staple. I mean, all their things are my staples. And now this is a new staple. I put it on and it absorbs instantly. It delivers lasting hydration. It visibly firms my skin. I look good in all the places I have to show because more skin means you just have to hydrate it. You have to protect it too from the elements. And Osea does all this with all their products, and their new Undaria Collagen Body Lotion has such a silky feeling. I really connect to their mission too of clean skin in their body care products, and they're good with the environment. The newest product in their best-selling Undaria Algae body care line, which includes their cult favorite body oil and body butter, is their collagen body lotion. It's perfect for warm weather. It's silky. It's weightless. It does not feel greasy. It's packed with vegan collagen, hyaluronic acid, peptides, and Undaria seaweed. I still use their body oil and their body butter. I use those too, but this is like it together. So it's just a little thinner of a mixture, but it goes on quicker. And I like to use it in the mornings because it kind of absorbs very quick. And I like to use the body butter and the body oil at night. And I like to sleep in that. So get hydrated and healthy skin for summer with clean vegan skincare and body care from Osea. And right now we have a special discount just for our listeners. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code KYA at OseaMalibu.com. But that's not all. Get an extra 10% off plus free shipping when you have your favorite products delivered on repeat with their Subscribe and Save program. Head to Osea, OSEA, Malibu.com and use code KYA. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. All right. So we did earlier some celebrity auras.
Yes.
Friendship auras. But more important than any of these celebrities is our own Mystic Michaela spiritual family, people that put their photos of their friends on a thread that that you posted earlier in the week.
I love this.
I love this.
It's like the warm, fuzzy feeling thread.
Yeah.
Like if you go through, you're just like going to feel like you just saw a baby bunny or something.
Right. And if you've been listening to the last couple episodes, the last two episodes, we did relationships readings, and now we're just doing friendship readings.
Yes.
Okay. And again, if you didn't get picked today, there was, I think, couple hundred entries already. We will do more, but we did go through them all, and they are they're fun to go through, and also
they are fun to go through.
People in the group, I'm sure, are going through them.
Yeah. I think it helps people too, like in these threads, like when you look at them, there's so many ways you can relate to different people. And like I always say, feel free to comment on each other's stuff and reach out with each other.
Yeah. And a lot of people that you do the readings for, they then write in the Facebook group afterwards. And then I've seen people say, oh, your husband is the same colors as my husband, and you have the same colors as me.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of that.
It's relatable.
It was also confirmed Megan B., spicy couple from last week.
Oh, the spicies.
It's spicy.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt spicy. She confirmed it for us, people. So if you listened last week to Megan B. and her Brad Pitt lookalike husband, it's spicy.
Okay. So this one was just this one was so cool when I went through it that I had to bring it up. So Brittany B writes, not sure if this is relevant, but my identical twin is my best friend. I need to do a twin episode. I mean, but this one was so cute. We are both unconfirmed. We think Alex, that's Alex D, that's her twin, is blue koi's, and we think I'm indigo purple. We both are very intuitive and have a lot of laughs together most of the time. Only we know why we're laughing. When we argue and fight, we usually say it as it is and move on. We're very intuitive with each other. Twin telepathy? I hope this helps. Then, this is what was crazy.
Okay.
Her twin comments, you did not just post at the same time as me. And then her twin writes back, yes, I did literally, after I said we were intuitive.
So each twin
and then
put the entry in.
So Brittany and Alex are twins.
Yeah.
Brittany posts at the exact same time as then Alex posted this. This is my identical twin and my best friend Brittany B. And then they said basically the same thing, which God. I think is so crazy.
Now I wonder who got it in like a second before. Who's posted on top of the other?
I think Brittany posted on top of Alex.
All right, then I want to know if Brittany was born like a second before Alex, too.
She looks... Okay, so what I notice with twins is I can usually tell who the, quote, older one is.
Yeah.
That is true. And Brittany, to me, does feel like the older one. So we got to see. She just feels like the older one to me. But
I mean, and we're talking about minutes here, right?
Yeah. But she could feel older to me just because she's also the indigo purple one. She is indigo purple. And sometimes indigo purples have just kind of that, especially if her sister is blue koi. She's got a little yellow in there too. So just based on colors and how things work, indigo purples are going to end up taking the lead if there's a turquoise around. So Alex is blue koi. She's got a yellow sparkle. So how they work as sisters, I feel like, and this is so funny, like as friends, we'll say as friends, as twin friends, I feel like Brittany can deflect sometimes what's going on in her life. Or brush it off, or be like, well, that's not a big deal, or that didn't bother me, or I'm okay, or I'm gonna. And I feel like Alex comes in with her turquoise truths, and is like, I'm gonna call you out on that. So sit with that. And then I think Brittany's like, whoa. And then like it might take her a little bit, and then she's appreciative. So I can see Brittany feeling like she has to tell Alex what to do because Alex is blue koi's and she might just be a little head in the clouds sometimes. And Alex will totally do that thing where she is hearing you and she appreciates it, but she's still going to do what she wants to do when she wants to do it. So they make me laugh. They're dynamic. But it's twins, which is a little different than friends.
Right,
because
yeah, a little bit.
It is different than friends. Twins are different than friends because, but I had to do that because it was so funny and cute. And I love that they're best friends. I think that's nice. Okay, what do you have?
All right, I have Katie M. But before I do this one, I do want to say I did notice, because earlier you were talking about with the celebrity couples, there always seems to be like that purple indigo or purple blue, and then there seems to be the other one have red in the aura. And I noticed that through most of these, there was an indigo blue type color or a very empathic combo, and then a red as the friend, and they got along real well.
Yeah.
So I just picked this one.
I think opposites attract.
Yeah. So I think maybe that you need to have that, right? All right. So Katie M., she has herself down as, I believe, blue-red, and the friend as yellow-indigo. We have been best friends since high school and consider each other soul sisters. Our colors manifest in similar ways, especially our sense of humor and view on the world. We have a comforting and supporting one another. It's like we have a way of comforting and supporting one another. It's like our blue and indigo really know how to communicate. We've been through some of the life's craziest ups and downs together. So grateful for their friendship.
You're so funny.
And I know my reading today is off. I apologize. I'm very excited about the Duggar thing tonight, and that's just been distracting me.
Okay. And it's cute because it's a picture of them. They're like pregnant at the same time.
Yes, and that's
why. Is adorable.
And I thought that was funny too.
It's so darn adorable. So Katie's got the red in there, and her friend. What's her friend's name?
She does not say.
She didn't write her friend, and her friend has the yellow in there. I think that's great. And then the one's blue and the one's indigo. So when I look at them as friends, I see Katie can get I feel like Katie can get that red aura anxiety going on. Like, where am I doing enough? I have to be in charge. I have to be in control. What's going on? Whatnot. And I feel like her friend, her indigo yellow little friend there, is a little bit more chill. And she can say, okay, here, let me help you plan that out. and let's talk about it and let's slow you down. So I feel like Katie, who's red, can also give her yellow indigo friend advice about speaking up a little bit more or not accepting behavior from others that she shouldn't have to accept, and making her feel seen, especially because indigos can do the disappearing act thing. And I feel like that doesn't really work on Katie. So Katie will show up anyways, and they don't even have to have a really deep conversation. It's just, okay, they feel like sisters in a lot of ways. So it's a nice, comfortable soulmate little friendship they have going on. So I love that.
Oh, and then, we'll still be doing this podcast in 5 years from now, and you'll tell us your kids, because they seem they'll be close to
oh, yeah.
one another in age, and we'll find out their colors and see if they're friends.
I love that. Yeah, I think like the best friendships, when I see Katie and her friend here, it's ones where you don't feel pressured. It's ones where somebody understands you and you don't feel defensive. And it's friendships where people want you to do the best and vice versa. And they don't take it personally. And I think that's really nice. All right.
Who's next?
Okay. I have Jess Hales, or Jess H, sorry. She says, this is my best friend and me as children and adults. I'm quick confirmed turquoise blue to go, and I believe she is yellow blue. She is yellow blue, yes. We have been friends our entire lives and have lived together as adults a couple of different times. We rarely agree on things, but we love each other deeply and accept our differences. And I picked this. I love this because it's a picture of them at some play. Like, one of them is Snow White, and they're in a play together, and then it's a picture of them as adults. So I think it was just really cute to me. So how I see them work together is the turquoise blue to go Jess. She feels real. This is the great thing about having a turquoise friend. I feel like they can adapt and observe and be really present. And every once in a while, they'll hit you with such truth and such perspective and such honesty. It's not all the time, but they see you in certain moments, and it can be very cataclysmic and life-changing for you in a friendship to hear insight given to you from your turquoise friend. And I feel like her friend here, her yellow-blue friend, is used to being the one who sees other people and organizes them and being selfless and being in the background. And with her friend Jess, she doesn't have to always do that. Like, she does because she likes to, but Jess sees her too. So it feels like a very mutual relationship where they see each other. And Jess isn't one to let her friend go overboard. She'll be like, hey, wait a second, let me do something for you. So, and I think like her friend being a yellow blue can be really hard to receive. I feel like Jess makes sure she receives, because it's not easy for her. So I like it's very easy friendship. Okay. And I like that.
All right.
All right, what do you got?
All right, I have Kelly F. There's 3 of them here. Okay, 2 are confirmed and 1 is not. So we're going to get this other person confirmed today.
Okay.
All right, so Kelly writes, I am, and I'll try to do this one a little better.
Okay.
I am blue and purple. Lindsay M. in the middle is blue, indigo, with a little yellow sparkle. But we need to know what Katie C. is, and she's on the right. She is my future sister-in-law.
Ah.
That's why I like this, too. Actually getting married to my assumed red-blue brother this week. They did put a picture of him. I don't have that one. I can quickly get it when you're talking.
That's okay.
When the 3 of us are together, we can truly feel comfortable and have a safe space in terms of discussing spirituality. I think each of us having some blue in us were recently I think because each of us have some blue in us. That's why they're comfortable together.
Okay.
Yeah. We were recently on a girls' trip and needed some time away from the group because large groups can be overstimulating for all 3 of us. So basically, they get out of there.
Okay.
All right.
So this is like a little group of 3 friends.
Yes, and one that they don't know the colors of is going to be married to Kelly's brother.
So she's interesting. She does have blue in her. She also has a little pink, which is interesting to me. And she's got a little yellow sparkle herself, but it's a real tiny sparkle. It also could be because maybe I need to see her alone. See, I would ask for a picture of her alone.
Okay.
Kelly. Only because Katie, sorry. I would have to see Katie's picture alone because, well, that's what I see. I see blue, I see pink, and I see a tiny yellow sparkle. But I don't know if the yellow is because she's planning the wedding or she's absorbing it from her buddies there or whatever. But what I like about this, it's funny because Kelly feels like Kelly and Lindsay feel like they definitely are in charge. Like they're the in charge too, especially Kelly. I feel like they will take over and they'll organize and they'll do everything because they want everything to flow with anything they do and be in charge, make sure everybody's comfortable. And I feel like Katie's really good at kind of going with that flow. And she feels like she just wants to be liked. She feels like she wants to be liked. So it's nice to be in this group like with Kelly and Lindsay. And of course she feels liked and she feels accepted and she doesn't feel judged. And I can see with Katie in her life, I get this sometimes on people, and I wonder if this is the pink in her, like she's used to people taking her personally or not liking her right away or assuming she's a certain way when she's not. And in this group, she doesn't have to feel that way. She can feel really comfortable. She doesn't feel judged. She's in there and she feels part of it and she can say something and not worry that it's going to be misinterpreted or taken incorrectly. So I feel like this group, this friendship group for her is a comfort place and a place she can actually grow and feel safe enough to try new things and get to know herself more. So this is a lovely little group and Katie feels happy there. So that's nice.
All right. And I did find a picture of the brother.
Oh, did you send it to me?
No, I got it right here. It's hard to see his eyes, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to get it, but here you go.
And that's her alone.
Oh, you got it?
Well, it's Katie with him.
With
okay,
him,
that's
yeah.
good. Oh,
With him,
he looks red and blue, yeah.
Okay.
100%.
So we're confirming him as red blue.
Yeah.
All right.
No, she looks pink and blue.
Okay.
She looks pink and blue. I wonder if the yellow, she tries to cover up the pink a bit.
Okay. All right.
That's.
All right. So I'm glad I got that picture for you.
Good.
And again, if you want to see what we're talking about, there is a thread on the Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family page.
Yeah.
The Facebook group where they have all these
I can
pictures.
probably put all these together.
Yeah, we can
too.
do a little thing like that too.
Wait, who's next?
All
it's
right.
me.
I think you're next.
Oh, okay. I have Shelby R. Okay. I feel really blessed to have a few strong friendships that have become chosen family for me, friends since 5th grade. She always gives me real advice that I can rationalize, and I love her so much. Aura test colors are yellow for her and turquoise for me. I couldn't find a pic of us to include my original post. Okay. Yes, she is. So your friend is yellow, blue. And you do look turquoise, but you look blue too. But sometimes these group pictures, it's hard, especially if you're a turquoise, to see all of you or whatever. In this picture, it's interesting because you absorb a lot of her yellow, Shelby. I feel like with you and your friend, what's interesting is your friend is somebody who feels very protective of you. Also feels that her yellow-blue way of doing things, meaning she sees what you need, she'll plan for it, she'll help you. This is how she shows you love. This is how she shows you friendship. This is how she shows you that she cares, and you receive it. And that's a big deal for yellow-blues. A lot of times they do need to be needed, and I feel like in this friendship, she gets to feel like she's needed, and it's going to a place that's worthy. Yellow-blue auras do like to be needed, and they need to learn to put that effort in places that are worth it. And you're worth it because you're a good friend to her back. So it's a nice reciprocal relationship, I feel. I wish I had a better picture of Shelby.
Yeah. So I guess the one problem with the friend thing is that they're taking pictures together.
I know
you like them to be
like separate
Maybe
group
we should
photos.
put that in there. All right, I'll do one more.
Okay.
This is also a picture of them together, so I don't know if it will come out or not. But
okay.
Helen M. just writes, and I can't read this whole thing because by the end of it, I'll just
God.
blah, 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 blah.
Do you want me to write it for you?
No, I'll just read the first thing. They don't know their colors, basically. But this feels like a manifestation come to fruition. About a week ago, I told Kelsey that if MM posted a prompt asking about friendship auras, that I would immediately post a picture of us to the thread. So I had to pick this one.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. It's like you knew it.
Yeah, so here's their picture. They're not, both of them are not confirmed. They have ideas, but they're not 100% sure. And there is Helen and Kelsey.
Okay. Helen definitely looks indigo green to me. That's the brunette.
Okay.
Okay. And the blonde, she's funny. She is yellow purple, but it's kind of like that Zendaya purple. It's very floaty and chill. And her yellow is really like curious and sparkly. I can see Helen and her friend and Kelsey working well together because they're so different. They are just so different. Helen feels really deep. She can get very deep, and sometimes she says things and it goes over people's head all the time. I feel like that's normal for Helen, so she's just used to it. But Kelsey hears it, and you might not even expect her. I feel like Kelsey gets underestimated a lot in life. So what happens is Kelsey totally gets it, and Helen knows that she gets it. So I love this friendship because they see the truth in each other, not what other people see. And I feel like both of them share a commonality out in the world, that they both get labeled as things, but they don't do that to each other. Some people just happen to get labeled more than others. Oh, you're an intellectual, or you're too smart, or you don't get it, or you can't do the work that we're giving you. You don't understand. And I feel like they both suffer from that a lot in society, but with each other, they see the real them and they honor that in each other. So it's nice. It's a real opposites attract relationship. Uh-huh. Cute.
All right. I think that's the last one for today. A lot of readings.
Yes.
Take a deep breath here. I think we're getting very excited because, and we'll just call OT right now.
Overtime. You may go.
You may go. There is a show coming out on Amazon Prime. It might have already dropped. I think it did already drop.
It did today.
What's it called? Happy People?
Shiny Happy People.
And you've been talking about this for the last month, I think.
I'm so excited.
And you've actually I want to watch it too.
Yeah.
Like, normally you try to get me to watch shows like Secession, whatever. Was that Secession or whatever? And I'm like, no. And you'll get Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Or Bama Rush.
All these shows. You try to get me to watch them with you.
Know.
No. But this one.
You'll do it.
I'm watching.
Yeah,
this seems interesting.
You like the religious cult stuff.
Yeah, it looks really interesting. I'm going to be doing a lot of research this week on this thing. So
that's going to be next week's topic.
Next week's topic. Your favorite pastime, you might have mentioned it on the podcast,
maybe once,
is Duggar's.
My favorite pastime.
What are your favorite? Yeah.
Okay,
this is your favorite pastime.
Alex, so we're going to go into it next week. We'll see how that goes because we haven't even thought about it yet. I have always watched the Duggars on TLC. It was like 19 and Counting, and then it was I forget what. Then there was like in 2015 there was this horrific thing that came out, and then they had to change the show to Counting On is what they called it. And I was always fascinated with this show because they all have this weird aura color on them. It's like this blobby blue.
Like all of them.
All of them.
All 20,
except some of the
22 men. Of them.
Except some of the men.
21 of them.
Yeah. Except some of the men.
Okay.
And it was like, you could call it like cult blue.
Cult blue.
Cult blue.
Oh, is that a new term in overtime? Cult
blue.
I
just coined it with my friend who she's watching the special right now, and I haven't watched it yet. And she's like, "Oh my god, they all must be a weird color." I'm like, "They're all cult blue," and she's like, "You need to say that on the podcast."
Cult blue. You heard it here first.
Okay, it's like a cult blue. It's not real blue. It's like cult blue. It's just a bubble of. What would you call that? Just there's probably a psychological term for what happens to people when they're in a cult. And that's the little kids and the little kids too. And I've watched it for years, and they truly act like they're amazing and everything's great. And this is the way it should be. And I would watch it just fascinated. And it's like, finally, so I do belong to the Duggar Snark.
Yeah.
It's on Reddit. And
is that what it's called? Duggar Snark?
It's called Duggar Snark on Reddit. And if you know, you know. And basically, like when that jerk, I can't say his name. Well, I'll save all this trigger warning stuff for next week. So I'm not even going to go into it right now. But when the thing happened that everybody was waiting for, the only place I could go where people really understood the joy I was feeling was the Duggar Snark page when the guy went to jail. And it's like that. When I found that Reddit thread, I was like, oh my God, I'm not the only one that sees it. Like, there's so many people that see that there's something wrong with these people.
Yeah.
And then they made a whole expose documentary on it on Prime.
Yes.
So watch it so you can catch up for next week.
Right.
And
we're going to be watching tonight, I think.
Yeah. Now, what used to come in when I would be watching the show, 19 and Counting, you'd be like, what's wrong with this? Like, you always, you knew from day one.
The first moment I saw Jim Bob, whatever his name was, Jim Bob, is that his name? Jim Bob.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is wrong with this guy?
Oh, yeah.
And I would come in here and there. I mean, maybe I saw 2 episodes. I'm not sure. At most, I saw 2 episodes. But I would always come in and watch it for like a couple of minutes and just had to leave. It was so gross to me.
Well, you just knew.
Yeah, I just knew this guy.
I knew too, but like it was like
he was so creepy.
Yeah.
So what do you call it? Demasculated, like just to women, just like
misogynistic.
Misogynistic. That's the word.
Yeah.
Thank you. I apologize. Yeah, he's so misogynistic. The whole thing was like odd to me, just so odd, and I couldn't watch it. I was like, I just had to leave.
Right.
That guy creeped me out. But anyway,
you weren't wrong.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, now there wasn't evidence back then, and now
right. Nobody knew.
Now it's like an expose.
Right, because on the outside he was like, "Hey, you guys, I'm Jim Bob."
No, that's the thing. Like for years, these things can be going on, and you know something's up, but you don't always get backed up with evidence. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of us were watching this show, and we're like, we knew it. We knew. It's like vindication because you knew this whole time something's going on with these people.
Yeah.
There's something more to the story, and finally. Prime makes a documentary about it, and you're like, I knew I was right. So I'm like...
Okay, so because a couple of people in my Wednesday group were asking, and I didn't know what the group that you were in on Reddit.
Duggar's Snark.
I don't have Reddit.
It's like the biggest one.
All right, so it's called Duggar's Snark. Are you odd? Like, would people be able to find you?
Oh, no,
I
don't. I don't
hidden.
Participate.
No, but like, would they
I'm more
see
of a
that
lurker.
Would you be in the group or no?
I don't know. I don't really have... I don't have like a name on Reddit. I'm just like user 82 blah 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 blah.
Right. So if you see user 82 blah blah blah,
there's so many of them. Okay. Like I'll like upvote things every once in a while. I mostly just there are funny people on there, you know, and then just really interesting insight from people who've left that community too. So it's okay, whatever.
Okay, whatever. Fine.
We're gonna go into it next week.
All right, next week. All right. Okay.
I don't know why that was overtime,
but
I guess
we could. That didn't have to be.
It didn't have to be overtime.
Yeah, because we didn't do it except for making fun of Jim Bob, but he deserves to be.
Yeah, but
mocked.
I don't. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. Well, this podcast is for you and about you, and we're so glad you spent some time with us today.
Hello, podcast fans. If you're looking for a new podcast, if you enjoy articles, books, pop culture, and hilarity, try listening to the Brain Candy Podcast.
That's right. The Brain Candy Podcast has over 500 episodes of educational hilarity to satiate your learning needs. Just search for the Brain Candy Podcast on your podcast app or click the link in the show notes.